Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at the short story, The Shadow on the Doorstep by James P. Blalock. It's 9 pages long in this Cthulhu 2000 collection that we're doing a deep dive into stuff. I do the Cthulhu Mythos reviews for the month of October, which I've done every month since I have done my channel for the last few years for folks and stuff. I love this stuff so much. I picked this collection. I'll link to it on the in the comments below. I picked up this collection when I was doing a deep dive into Lovecraft stuff in college and grad school. In the last couple of years of college, my 2 years of grad school, he became my favorite author very quickly. This is published by Del Rey. I picked this up and read it and liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun stuff in it, and so forth. And so now we're reading this. It's 9 pages long. It took me about 20 minutes. It was a little longer than I expected it to take going back and rereading it, because I had to on the first page. It was rough to get started with a 9-page short story, and I had to go back and reread it a second time. But then once I was reminded of how much I like what happens here, I then got back into it and enjoyed going back and rereading this for a second time. It's named The Thing on Shadow on Doorstep is from H.P. Lovecraft's short story The Shadow. The Thing on the Doorstep, rather. And so it comes from that. On the first page, this point of view character who's about 30-40 years old, and he's getting closer to middle age. He lives by himself. It's late at night. There's a storm, a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and so forth. And he hears, after finishing reading 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne, he hears a knock on the door, but he's not sure it's a knock on the door. It could be something else. He thinks it's probably just noise or just wind or something like that. He looks out there and sees things that are very aquatic-like on the door. The description and the description of it is similar to what would be a deep one from H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth, which again is my favorite horror short story in the Cthulhu Mythos that he wrote, that he created in the pulp era. And then he is reminded we find out on that first page or second page early on that he would get a description of his apartment, and he has an aquarium that he stopped using about 6 months ago, according to his thoughts. And now we're going to be reminded of 3 aquarium visits that he did, one as a child, one in college, and then one later on as an adult, to 3 separate aquariums in the local vicinity. It all had dark things that happened to him while he was there. This creature on the doorstep, which he sure isn't there. His mind is, but his heart's like, I feel it. But I know it's just me being mad, or just me thinking about things because I just finished Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, right? And so forth. But it's a quiet nature has reminded him of visits, and he was an aquarist until about 6 months ago, and you'll find out what actually happened with that too in the third visit. So you'll find out all the details about his visits to aquariums, about 3 pages each, for the rest of this short story. So that's what's happening. That's the framing device for it. I enjoy it because I'm an Aquarius, and I have multiple aquariums. My first aquarium was when I was a kid. We used to raise dogs in southern West Virginia, in Boone County, and sell them for money. And we took them to dog shows and stuff like that too. And we actually had a champion. And then once we stopped that, my dad said, "Hey, do you want to have other pets?" Because since we sold our pets, or gave them to my grandmother, had a big giant farm that they could play around on. My dad was like, "Do you want to have pets?" And I was like, "Yes, I still want to have pets." And so I said, "I'd like to get a fish tank." And I was like 10 or 12 at the time. And he said, "Okay." So he bought me a fish tank for my birthday, which was December 10th. And then he didn't buy me fish until a couple of weeks had passed, because you got to wait for the tank to get freshed up and so forth for Christmas. And so forth. And then ever since, I've had fish. I like fish, they're fun. Sometimes I've had 2 or 3 tanks. Right now I only have 1. And so, yeah, I like tropical fish. And so I would consider myself an Aquarius too. So seeing these descriptions of these different, fish stores that he went to, and seeing tanks, descriptions, and seedy things, and so forth that he's coming across in these 3 trips is fun. I enjoyed it because of that bias. So I admit that I have that bias. And that's why I enjoyed going back and reading this. But it's probably more like a 7 out of 10 for folks. James Blalock's 8-9 page short story. So it's fun. It took me about 20 minutes for me to knock out again last night. So there you go. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read this? If so, what did you think about it? Let's talk about it in the comments below. As a reminder, the name of this channel, The Worst Thing About New Books, is a quote by a French philosopher named Chuck Schubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And this is a work that's decades old, right? So it's definitely a key part of this channel to pack and unpack for you folks. And then if you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? There should be a lot more of these to follow. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing in watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling and I appreciate it. So thanks again and have an amazing day.